Tyler, your first start in the in-state rivalry series here. I know you have family that grew up in this area. Kind of tell me what your history is with this and kind of how excited you are to be a part of it.
Yeah, I got a bunch of people on my mom's side of the family that are Beaver fans. They live in Salem and in Albany. So I think when I was first coming to visit Oregon, I had to stay one of their nights at one of their homes, and they had Beaver gear and all that kind of stuff. So I know it means something different to them, and obviously they're great to finally get in this rivalry series and get a game in there. But I know the rivalry is intense, and I'm just really excited to play it. And I know a bunch of people on my side of the family who live in Arizona are huge Duck fans, so I'm really excited.
AJ Jacobson, Rivals.
Tyler, we've been talking to the coaches a bit about the RPO game, and I was just wondering, before you got to Oregon, how much of experience did you have with stuff like that, and where do you think you're at with it now?
In high school, I really kind of ran a mixed bag of our offense. We ran the triple option, we ran spread, kind of depending on what down it was because we had a bunch of good athletes. So I'm comfortable with a lot of the triple option reads and a lot of RPO reads from then, and then obviously my first 2 years here, we had a little bit of everything with RPOs, but Coach Moorhead just really, he does a great job with the read wise and just managing how we look at the defense and how the offense runs. So it really makes it easy on the wideouts and on me and on the O-line for as far as read perspectives, and it just matters about executing it.
Matt Preem, 247 Sports.
How much you feel like Devin's just pure size presents a challenge and big play ability for you guys, and what have you seen from him the last few weeks in his development?
Yeah, it's definitely a huge advantage just because he's got that long framework where you could just feel like you can throw a jump ball and put it out pretty much anywhere high or outside the body because he's got that radius for sure. So I think he's just using it to his advantage and using his size, getting out of breaks and obviously on jump balls. So he's just getting better every day, and then all of our wideouts are. So I have full confidence in all of them.
James Kripia, the Oregonian.
Tyler, how much further along and how much more is this offense able to do now, even compared to the first week of the season? Not just because you and the offensive line have gotten more game experience, but we mentioned Devin or Hunter being back, Cam working his way back. You guys did more out of 12. Devin, moving to the X, moves Johnny to the Z. It seems like there's a lot more options available to you guys now than even 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's just part of getting personnel back, getting a lot of guys just stepping into their roles. So it definitely puts a lot of flexibility in our offense and what we can do as far as plays, personnel, and then obviously the decisions that we make. So I think they're all been doing a great job. We've had a good week of practice. We've been bumping the intensity up just because this is a huge week for us, and we're really excited to play OSU because they got great competition, they got great players. So it's going to be a tough week.
Eric.
Tyler, let's go kind of following back up on your family there. You get a little bit more communication with the Beaver side this week, and kind of what is kind of taking into that family dynamic with where it's kind of a split household, half Oregon State.
I haven't really heard from a lot of them really in a while as much, but definitely not this week. I usually hear from my immediate family and my mom's side, but we treat it like it's almost every other week, just like it's the next game. That's kind of the mindset that I kind of instill in them, that it doesn't matter who we're playing, we're going to go out there and execute it to the best of our abilities. But obviously it's going to mean something playing OSU because my mom is from Albany, so we definitely have that family ties. But I haven't heard much, but I just know that there's something different when you go up to Corvallis or when they come down to Eugene.
AJ Jacobson, Rivals.
Tyler, we're about to talk to Johnny Johnson III, and you had a couple of nice connections with him on Saturday. So I just wanted to ask your expert opinion. What does he bring to the table for the Ducks? What kind of receiver is he for you?
He can play any spot in the field, to be honest. He can play Z, X, H, and he has done that in the past. He's been kind of our go-to guy as far as he's really kind of an all-down kind of a wide out because he's going to make the big catch on third down. He's going to be there for the big play down the field. He's just got great hands. He runs great routes. I pretty much know where he's going to be at all times on the field just because of our chemistry. So he's been a great resource for me to talk to. He's become one of my best friends throughout this whole process. So I know he's been working his butt off, and he's been a veteran group in that wide receiver room. I know the wide receivers wouldn't be where we are today without him and guys like Jalen Red's leadership.
James.
Tyler, this OSU defense obviously has a lot of strength at the linebacker position. Just what do you see? And since that's a position that you read a lot of in the secondary and the back seven of the defense. What do you see from this group in particular?
Yeah, they're physical. They run hard to the ball. They fly around. So that's what we've been seeing them on tape, and they're really experienced guys. So they played us before. They've came down here. So I know they got all the experience and fire under their belt. So we're going to be prepared for whatever they bring, and we got to bring it to them as well, just because it's going to be a physical game.
Eric.
Tyler, it's good to see Hunter back out there, I'm sure, and getting some of those tight ends back. Kind of, what have you seen from him from practice? And I think probably a lot of people were surprised how effective he was in the passing game. And have you seen kind of that extra motivation from him to improve there after last year where there's some kind of up and down moments?
Yeah, that's just a testament to his work in the offseason and his preparation just throughout this whole year. I think he's the older guy in the group. He's a veteran. He's got a lot of playing under his belt. So I think in those moments, him and I just kind of look at each other, and it's just no up or down. We're just super calm. We've all been in those tight situations. So he's one of those guys that we can all look to really just get us settled in and get us going, because offensive football isn't as much getting fired up and blowing somebody up, but it's more precision and make the right decision. So I think he's just been a great avenue as far as the blocking schemes, and then you can trust him in the passing game. So it's been great to have him back.
James.
Tyler, Coach Moorhead was talking about your ability to work protections and things, particularly on the third and long and stuff you guys faced last week, and the early pressures and stuff. And going forward, just what is that communication like? As again, you guys on the O-line, I know you worked together last year, but now that you're doing it in games, just the communication between you and Alex mainly, but whether it's the tackles to him or you to the tackles or vice versa, because it's not all pass blitzes, it's plenty of run blitzes that came through, and now teams have that on tape to reference as well. Yeah,
just Alex and I work together. We work together a lot, and we kind of have our own meetings before the meetings and just talk through protections. And we were obviously roommates before kind of COVID and the season happened, so we have that great chemistry together. There's just really no gray area. We're good with every decision. They know the dynamic that we have, because I can kind of see the safety's leaning one way or nickel coming, because he's kind of got that tight box view. So, and that just goes with film study and talking with the coaches. That they give us a great plan for the week, and we just got to go out there and execute it. So I know Alex is one of the most cerebral players that I've ever played with, just because he takes that into his preparation. He takes it seriously. So I know that we're gonna have a great plan going into the week and just try to do the best that we can with it.
Eric.
Your roommates, Ryan and Alex, both grew up in this state, have probably a little different perspective on this rivalry series. Kind of what have you learned from them, and maybe have they shared anything with the team that kind of puts into perspective a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. Ryan talked to us after practice today about what it means to play the Beavers. So I know that they've got a lot more deep roots of split families and friends that are Beaver fans, and what it means to them and how they feel about the Ducks. So it definitely means something different, and we got to treat it like it's the biggest game of the year, just because we're playing them next. So we have that mindset that we got to come in and be 1-0 for this week and 1-0 every day. And they obviously give great insight with that, because they got personal ties. So I'm really proud of how they've been working, and we just got to keep holding everybody accountable going up to Friday.
Thanks, Tyler. That's all we have for you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.